Okay. Hi, Pramod. How are you? How are you,
Fine,
Pramod?
Guruji. How are you, Guruji?
Okay, good, good. Uh, Pramod, I'm glad to see you, man. Be cool and be happy and be make yourself as a comfortable with
Yes,
the
Guru.
technical discussion. Okay. Pramod, can you help me out I wanted to get your experience. How many years of experience you have in industries, and can you help me out? What kind of work you have done? Just tell
I
me
worked
about
at,
you.
yes, Guruji. As you know, my name is Pramod.
Hmm.
I worked as a QA analyst for around 2 years in my
Hmm.
past company,
Hmm.
previous company.
Hmm.
Coming to my projects, I worked on two projects. One of the project is VDR project,
Hmm.
where users can enter the details and
Hmm.
save the details and
Hmm.
mention in their respective PSLs.
Hmm.
And we need to check the functionality of the each and every PSL, which
Hmm.
is working fine according to the business requirement or not.
Okay.
Coming to my role, here I worked as a QA analyst.
Hmm.
And coming to my responsibilities,
Hmm.
understanding the requirement,
Hmm.
doing the system analysis, and preparing the
Hmm.
document.
Hmm.
After that, writing the test scenario
Hmm.
design documents.
Hmm.
Based on the test scenario design,
Hmm.
we use it to derive the test cases from them.
Okay.
After writing the test cases
Hmm.
on the assigned module, which I have
Hmm.
given by the product manager, I used to perform the smoke testing, whether the build is testable or not, and we are able to proceed the further testing process. And after that, if when we are validating the application, if we found any actual result is not working as expected result, we would try to raise the bugs in the particular tool such as Jira or Azure DevOps tool and erase the defects. While raising the defect, we used to develop the bug report by mentioning the bug ID,
Hmm.
by mentioning the OS, Windows, and the test environment or stage environment, code environment, in which
Okay.
environment we have found the
Okay.
bug.
Okay. Okay. Let us come into the project work and all. Uh, Pramod, can you tell me if I give you one project to work on testing, what is your way of thought? How you wanted to approach, and what is your approach on that? What do you wanted to do for the testing? If I give you
First, I
one
will,
requirement, if I give you one requirement, so what you will do?
as soon as I get the requirement, I will first as a team, we will perform the system analysis and we will check the each and every functionality of the application page by going through the mock which you have given along with the requirement. As soon as that, we will prepare one system study report. There we can analyze the each and every functionality of the application on the assigned module. And after that, we will derive the test scenarios from the based on the system study which we have done earlier.
Okay. Okay. So suppose you mentioned you have a good experience in analyzing the requirement. What you mentioned in SRS analysis. So what is the use of that? What you wanted to do over there?
By doing SNS analysis, we can able to understand the entire functionality and flow of the application without missing any requirements before moving into the deep rigorous testing. And we can able to provide our source to the customers in which they are not able to give any clarity requirements over the clarity. You can able to overcome them by discussing with the customer as well as our teammates.
Okay. Okay. So how do you will design the test scenario? What you will do in that? What is the test scenario process you have followed up?
By test scenario, we will able to derive the each and every functionality of the application. By writing the test scenarios, we will not miss any scenario. When we are writing the test scenarios, we have to include each the positive scenarios as well as the negative scenarios. For example, when we are trying to checking the functionality of the login of the application, we used to write the scenarios like by providing the valid credentials as well as by providing the invalid credentials.
Okay.
And we need to check in the different OS and different operating systems, different web browsers.
Okay. Okay. So, so you mentioned that you have a very good experience in designing the traceability matrix. What do you wanted to do over there? How you wanted to design?
By designing the
And
traceability,
one more thing is, what is the use of it? Why you wanted to do that?
we used to actually we developed the requirement traceability matrix. We should not miss any test scenarios as well as test cases while performing testing process on the application. Actually, the RTM defines that we should map the requirements. We should map the test cases along with the given requirements. Then in further process of testing, we will not skip or miss any of the scenario or any of the test cases while testing on the assigned module, which we have given to them.
Okay. Okay. So, for example, immediately you have designed around 300 test scenarios. Okay. And immediately you came to know that a requirement got changed. Okay.
Yes.
What you will do in that situation?
In the situations, once I will go through the test scenario document, and I will rectify where the requirement changes are got. And again, I will do the root cause analysis by changing the system analysis document, by doing the modification of the test scenario document. And based on the modification on the test scenario document, again, I will write some of the test cases for the requirement which they have newly changed.
Okay.
After
Okay.
that, I will perform the test case.
How do you will come to know that a requirement got changed?
Requirement got changed in the whenever there are any requirement change, business analyst or PM will inform to our team, either QA team or dev team. In those meetings, we will able to know that the requirement got changed. According to that, we have to plan our sprint next process.
Okay. Okay. So, suppose there is you are mapping the requirement to your test scenario, correct?
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, correct.
So you are mapping test scenario to your test cases, correct?
Yes, correct. Yes, correct.
Test cases to your defect ID.
Yes, correct.
Correct. So suppose 80% of your requirement got changed. 80% of your requirement got changed immediately as you are working on agile. Okay. How do you will do everything, update everything, and how much time you may take to update your test scenario, update your test cases, and all those things? How you wanted to do that? How much time you may take for that?
Actually, it will be based on the complete flow of the functionality of the application. Based on that requirement, we will able to do the changes. First of all, we will do the changes which is related to the smoke testing. Whether the build is able to, we should able to redirect it to the link or not.
Okay.
Whether we are able to log into the application or not.
Okay. Okay. For example, Pramod. So
Yes.
I will give you 200 test cases. 200 test cases I will give you, and I will give you 8 hours of time to execute all 200 test cases. Okay.
Yes.
So you doesn't have a time. Means your capacity or your understanding, you have a 2 years of experience, 2+ years of experience, and I will give you 8 hours of time, and I will tell you to execute all 200 test cases. But you are totally new to the project. You don't know the functionality. Okay. So in that situation, what you will do? What is your approach? How you wanted to convey me?
It will be the situation will be based on the server of the environment which is working, whether in high speed or low speed, which we can decide. And based on the server, we are able to execute the speed stability of the test cases. And after that, we firstly I will execute the most critical scenario test cases, most commonly used test cases by the user. That means smoke test cases. After that, I will perform the regression test cases modules which are getting impacted frequently in every
Okay.
sprint.
Okay. So, for example, how you executed your test cases? Can you tell me? Can you brief me more?
Based on the assigned module which I have given, I will start execute the test cases based on one by one. After executing the each test cases, based on the result which I get, I will change the test case status as whether it is passed or failed. If there is any failed test cases, immediately then I will raise the bug and I will assign to the concerned developer. And I will note down the bug IDs which I have raised the bug defect.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, after executing the test cases, I will send the daily status report to my concerned team lead.
Okay. Okay. So, suppose if you are raising a defect, imagine that I am your developer. Okay.
Yes.
So, a couple of defect which you have raised are really not a defect. Okay. What I
Okay.
will do, being a developer, I will straightforward reject it.
Okay.
Because you are raising the defect on my name in the sense. So I need to relook into it. What kind of defect you have raised? And you have
Yes.
raised around 10 defect. From 10 defect, I have rejected all 6 defect. It is not a defect. Okay.
Yes, correct.
And your manager will call you and he will ask you, hey Pramod, what kind of defect you have raised? All defect got rejected by the developer. Do you know the functionality or simply you have raised defect? Okay. How you wanted to convey me and your manager, these all are real defects.
Actually, the defects which I raised was valid defects because the developer is trying to fix the bugs in the dev environment. That's why he's not able to reproduce the bugs which I have raised. And in some of the cases, the misunderstanding of the requirement, according to the developer also, is unable to find the defects in his environment. I will connect with the BA along with the concerned developer, and I will explain the bugs which I have raised in the by connecting the call with the BA to the developer. And I will check and I will connect with the developer and check in the QA server, and you are checking in the dev server. That is
Even,
the result.
yeah. See, suppose even the business analyst is confused about this functionality. He could not able to convey you. You are going to connect with the business analyst, right? They are domain expertise. They knows functionality very well. Even they are confused with the functionality. What do you will do in that situation?
In that situation, I will try to explore the documents which is related to that application. And I will connect with my seniors who have worked earlier with that project. I will try to collect the documentation according to the functionality of the application. And I will try to perform the exploratory testing based on the understanding of the
hold on.
application.
Hold on. So you have raised around 10 defects.
Yes.
Okay. How you will prioritize all 10 defect as P1, P2, and P3?
I will prioritize the defects based on the severity and priority of that bug.
Okay.
Suppose so severity means how much the bug is affecting the application, and the priority talks about the in the form of the order which we need to fix the bug in the order based on the
You are
severity.
fixing or developer is fixing the bug?
That means I will provide an idea to the developer in which order you need to fix the bug.
Okay. Okay. Suppose I'm a developer. I have fixed 10 defects. Okay. And in the next release notes, I mentioned your name, Pramod. These many defects got fixed. We will release the next build release. Okay.
Yes.
So while doing a retesting, you came to know that particular defect have been not fixed properly. What you will do in that situation?
After performing the retesting, if the defect is not fixed, again I will try to, after performing the retesting, I will try to do the regression testing, whether the impact area is affected or not. And after that, I will try to, again I will I will change the status of the bug as reopen, and I will assign the same bug to the concerned developer. Again, saying that this bug is not fixed. Still, I am able to see the issue in my QA server. I will change the bug status as a reopen
Okay.
after doing the retesting and regression testing.
Okay. So in that situation, again, the defect which you reopened, okay,
Yeah.
which is closed in the development server, what you will do in that situation? I will call you and I will tell you, no, boss, it is closed as you have seen. What you will do in that situation?
If again, I will check in my QA server. If it is really closed, then I will change the status of bug as closed. As I will take it as it is my mistake, and I will change the bug status as closed. If it is really is not closed, I will change the status of bug as reopen, and I will reassign it to the concerned developer.
Okay. So suppose, Pramod,
That's good.
so today imagine that the time is around 11 a.m. Okay.
That's good.
11:45, we have a release. Okay. 11:45, we have a release. 11:40, while doing a regression testing, you got a critical defect. You got a one defect. Okay.
Okay.
And you are telling, immediately your manager is come to you and he will ask you, hey, Pramod, can we go ahead and release? The moment he came, you got a defect. Okay. How do you want it to convey your manager stating that you got a defect at the nth moment? And how do you want it to convey the developer you got a defect at the nth moment? What do you do in that situation? Will you tell your manager to go ahead and release the product to the production? Or what do you do in that situation?
At that time, we will able to connect in our Microsoft Teams like that, our dev team and our team with the client, and we will able to discuss the severity and priority of the bug with the concerned teams. And if it is okay, and we will talk with the client, and if it is okay with it, based on the severity and priority of the product, according to the customer's requirement, we will release. If he is okay with that bug, and he will not able, and the bug is not affecting the functionalities of the user, then we will able to release the bug in that release, and we will try to ask the permission. We will try to fix the bug in the upcoming releases as soon as possible.
It is very critical, Pramod. It is a very critical
Okay.
defect which you got. And being a developer, I will tell you, I will ask you the
Okay.
question, Pramod, what you have done in the last iteration, how you come to know that this defect is now you are coming up with a new defect? How you wanted to convey me? I'm telling you upfront, last iteration, it was not there. This iteration you found, and at the nth moment, you are coming it as a defect. What you wanted me to do now? You tell me now, Pramod, how you wanted to convey me in this situation?
In the situations, we either while testing, we can miss some of the scenarios in a test or stage environment while performing the testing. In those cases, we will try to ask some more time at the end of the day.
Okay, leave it. Pramod, you have completed the functional testing for your particular module. Okay.
Yes.
Now you wanted to give a sign off and you are telling your manager stating that, sir, I am done with the functional testing. Okay. Let it go for alpha testing, UAT testing. Okay. It's went for a UAT testing. So I am doing the UAT testing. Means I am performing alpha testing now. Okay. So I wanted to check your module before getting into the production. I got 5 defects from your module. Okay. I will call you immediately. Hey, Pramod, I got a 5 defect. What kind of functional testing you have done? I will ask you, being a UAT tester. Okay. So how you will define me? How you would like to convey me? Because defect got leaked out from your functional testing to UAT testing. What do you will do?
After that, if we found any defects in the UAT server, then I will try to reproduce the same bug in the lower environments like test environment and stage environment by performing the root cause analysis. And I will check and I will check and I will map the bug ID with the concerned issue, whether it is a bug or whether it's a valid bug or invalid bug. And if it is a valid bug, I will try to, and I will try to check the bug. And if it is really bug, then I will change the status of bug as reopen, and I will check
No,
to
my
the
question
developer.
is why you leaked out these many defects? See, you are telling you have done with the functional testing, being a UAT, I found a defect.
Yes.
Why you leaked out these many defects? My question is that, how you wanted to convey me?
That means while writing the SRS analysis document, while writing the test scenario and test cases, I should not follow the basic steps. That is why.
Hold on. I will tell you the answer. Okay.
Yes,
So how you need to convey in the sense, the UAT people which they got a defect might be a known defect. You got my point. So
that means
those
already
defects, those defects
known.
might be a not releasing in this release. Those defects are known defects.
Okay.
You got my point. So there will be a release notes which is going from system testing to UAT testing. You need to ask them, have you gone through our release notes? In that release notes, we would have mentioned there, these all are known defects.
Okay.
One thing. Second thing is, certain defects will come up. Neither you have not designed the test cases for that. Neither it is not there in the requirements. Means we call it as communication gap, where you don't know the requirement got changed. Only developer knows it, which you have not got any communication about it. So such functionality, UAT people may found the defects. So if you wanted to do the root cause analysis, neither the defects are there, it is not there, test cases is also not there, and even scenario is also not there, in the sense it is not there in the requirements documents. We call it as communication gap.
Communication gap between
The business analyst and you.
Okay.
If business analyst wanted to update the document, she should update it. She should communicate with you also. Pramod, these are the requirements.
After updating, if they are not communicating with us, then we are able to see those bugs in the UAT server.
Exactly.
Yes, I got it. Yeah.
And another thing is, the URL which you are testing in the functional testing, they may not use the same URL for the production.
That's good.
I mean to say, there is a miscommunication. They may use the last iteration, last released build also. Who knows? So these things comes under when you are getting a blame, why you leaked out the defect to the production or UAT. Okay, still it is in alpha testing where you are under control. Once it is go to the beta production, okay, then it is out of control. Customer is posting defects back to you. In that scenario, we need to follow the backward traceability matrix. Defect we will take, we will compare, we will do the best root cause analysis, why we leaked out such kind of defects. Okay. Okay, Pramod, you mentioned you are working on agile. Okay. Yes. So what is a sprint over there? What is the meaning of sprint?
Sprint is nothing but a cycle or iteration in which a particular user stories are developed in around 10 to 15 user stories may develop in a particular sprint. Usually sprint lasts for one, based on the company, it may change to, may depends on the company to company environment. And it usually lasts around from 1 month to 2 months.
Okay.
That means
another
4 weeks
thing,
to 8 weeks.
Yeah. So another thing is, what is sprint retrospective meeting? What do you wanted to do over there?
After the completion of the sprint, all the team members like dev team, QA team, business analyst, and they will conduct one meeting. In that meeting, they will talk about the challenges which were faced by them. in the completed sprint. And they will discuss the challenges which they were faced in the completed sprint, and they will try to overcome the challenges in the next release, and they will discuss in the sprint retrospective meeting.
Okay. So what is sprint velocity?
Sprint velocity means the time taken to complete work for a particular build is known as a sprint velocity.
Okay.
We call it as.
So what is the scrum call? What do you wanted to discuss over there in the scrum call?
In scrum call, we will discuss about the work which we have done yesterday and what work which we are going to do today, and the task which we are going to perform tomorrow. We will discuss in the scrum meeting. And here we will not discuss any clarifications or doubts which we have on the functionality of the application. We will only mention the work which we have completed and which we are going to complete by tomorrow.
Okay. Okay. So suppose, Pramod, while executing the functional test cases, if you got one defect, okay, you tell me how you wanted to raise that defect. What are the things you wanted to mention with respect to that defect, so that developer can understand your defect without calling you? Can you tell me the defect life cycle which you have followed up in your organization?
As soon as I found the defect, I will raise the defect. By default, bug ID will be generated. In the bug ID, I will mention the operating system which have found the bug and the environment which have found the bug. And I will mention the steps to reproduce the bug. And it will be easy for the developer to reproduce the bug in his server. And I will capture the screenshot and I will attach the document of the screenshot. And after that, the status of the bug will be open. And the developer will go through the bug report. After he's fixing the bug, we'll change the status of the bug as fixed. And I will not trust the developer. And again, I will perform the retesting. And if I do not find any bug, I will change the status as the closed. And if the bug is still not closed, and if we are able to reproduce that bug in our server, then we will change the status of the bug as reopen. These are the status which I have performed while working on the bug.
Okay, Pramod. So if you have 250 test cases, 250 test cases,
50 test cases,
you executed all 250 test cases, but you got only 2 defects. Imagine you got only 2 defects. Those 2 defects got fixed from the developer, and it has come to you in the next iteration. Okay. And you will do the retesting on those 2 defects, particularly, right? How you will do the regression testing? Will you execute all 250 test cases? And what you will do in that situation?
The 2 bugs which I have found in the particular module, firstly, I will perform the regression testing on the page which I have found those bugs. After that, if there is any dependency between the modules related to those bugs, I will try to perform the regression testing on those bugs. I will try to perform the regression testing around 50 to 60 test cases. If I found the
how did you know that 50 to 60 test cases only you need to perform the regression? On what basis you decided?
The dependency of the modules which I have found the bug. If there is no dependency between the modules, if I have found the bug, if there are 2 bugs which I have said, which I have performed retesting in the another release.
Okay.
If they are not, if they are present in the independent modules, I will not try to perform the regression testing. I will perform the regression testing in a small manner. That means it will come under sanity testing.
Okay. Pramod, I am done with my technical discussion. Pramod, do you have any questions for me?
After getting into your company, May I know the working environment which you have followed and the working process?
We are working on agile. Okay, and we have particular verticals: healthcare, banking, and finance. Okay, so if we hire you, you will be a part of one of the particular vertical. Like you may be. So right now, we are recruiting you for the bench. Okay, so you will be deployed in the different domain. So which we are expecting couple of projects to be on pipeline. Okay, so we will let you know. So your feedback. You will be having a second round of interview. Neither this week or I will check the availability of the panel, second round panel, and I will come back to you. Okay. Thank you, Pramod. Nice technical discussion with you. Okay. We'll
Thank
meet
you
you
for
in
the
the second
opportunity.
round. Thank you. We'll meet you once again. See you in the second round. Thank you. See you.